organolysis. Now welcome to another session of the name reaction series. Now in this video we are going to discuss an important name reaction, that is Siemens-Smith cyclopropanation. So as you can see from the name, that is the cyclopropanation. That means you are getting a cyclopropane ring after the reaction. So that's why this reaction is typically called Siemens-Smith reaction. And this reaction is very much important for any kinds of exam, like if it is a MESI entrance, IIT JAM, CSIR, NET, GATE, anything. So this reaction you have to know for any kinds of exam. Now see, in the year 1958, the two scientists, that is Siemens and Smith, they are first to utilize the diiodomethane in the presence of zinc copper couple to convert an alkene to form a cyclopropane ring, that is stereo specifically. So that's why this reaction is very much important. So the year is 1958. These two scientists, that is Siemens and Smith, they are found that reaction by using the diiodomethane and zinc copper couple. Now you can see here from the I have written over a alkene over here, and this alkene reacted with this CH2I2, that is diiodomethane. So this is your diiodomethane, right? So this is your diiodomethane. Now when we are using diiodomethane with this zinc copper couple, now it will form this kind of cyclopropane ring. So similarly, when you have this cis one, that you have the Z alkene over here, you are getting this cis, that is stereo specifically you are getting this cis cyclopropane ring. Whenever you have the E alkene, you will get a trans one, that is your trans variant. You will get a from alkene you are getting a cyclopropane ring, that is stereo specifically. That's why this reaction is very much important. The stereo specificity of this reaction is very much higher and important as well. So first of all, you have to know the mechanism, how this reaction proceed. For that, you can see here, that is you can write this CH2I2 in this way, that is I CH2I and I, and if it is react with zinc copper couple, so zinc copper couple is basically used for the oxidative addition of zinc. So you can see here, that is a CH2I2 and ZnI. So Zn is inserted with this CH2 center by using an oxidative addition. So this is your oxidative addition step. Oxidative addition. Now this is your Siemens-Smith reagent. This ICH2 ZnI is your Siemens-Smith reagent. Now this particular reagent will finally react with your alkene, and then it will give your final, that is cyclopropane ring. Now I am taking over a alkene like this, that is R1, R2, R3 and R4. There are 4 different kind of alkyl group. So R maybe your hydrogen substituted, or maybe your alkyl or aryl substituted. Both these compounds can be possible for this reaction. Now when you are using this alkene with this Siemens-Smith reagent, you can see here, that is this kind of butterfly like transition state is possible. That is it follows this butterfly like transition state. So it is called butterfly type transition state. So this is because you can see here, that is this type of 3-membered ring and this type of 3-membered ring, that is why it is called butterfly like transition state. That is your 3-centered butterfly like transition state. It will proceed. Now this is a concerted process, so you should know that is your concerted process. Now you can see this is your concerted process, that is Siemens-Smith cyclopropanation reaction. Now for this, you can see that this CH2 unit attached with this double bond, and how this reaction takes place I can show you here. That is this CH2 ZnI, right, like this. Now it will go over here and it will attach with this one, and this hydrogen is bonded with this zinc center, and that is how you can get this 3-membered ring over here and this CH2 kind of 3-membered ring over here. Now this is your transition state, and finally after removal of this zinc ZnI2, you can see here that from here, that is ZnI2 will leave from the system, and you are getting this product, that is your substituted cyclopropane. So this is your substituted cyclopropane that you get. This is your desired product. Now for this, this is not much important. The important thing is that some key points that you should remember for this cyclopropane, Siemens-Smith cyclopropanation. That is, you can see that is the cyclopropanation of olefin by using CH2I2 and zinc copper couple. So this is your first that you should know, that is a reagent. If you know the reagent, then you can easily predict what will be the product. Now second thing is that it is a electrophilic nature. As you can see here, that is, this is formed over here. This is your basically your carbenoid. Now this is your carbenoid kind of thing. So this is very much electrophilic in nature. So that is why it is called electrophilic nature in reagent. So this reagent is electrophilic, and the rate of reaction is faster where you have the electron rich alkene. When you have the electron rich alkene, then this reaction is very much faster in rate. So when you have this, but on similar cases, if you have a very much bulky groups around this the alkene, then the rate of the reaction will slow. So that you should remember for this. Now this third thing is that the cyclopropanation is stereospecific. As I told earlier, that is the cyclopropanation of Siemens-Smith by using Siemens-Smith reaction, that is very much stereospecific. So that is why this reaction is important. Now the stereospecific is basically from that you can, if you started with the Z alkene, you are getting the cis one. If you are started with E alkene, then you are getting the trans one. So that is what the stereospecificity of this reaction is, right? Now when we have the important thing is the fourth point. So this fourth point you should remember, and question comes from this topic only. So that is why this point you should remember very much. Now this point told us that says that when the alkene has functional group containing heteroatom. Now heteroatom means which kind of heteroatom? That is OH, OAC, OMe, OPN or NHR. Now if you look carefully, that all of the oxygen and nitrogen all have the lone pair of electron. Now they can direct the cyclopropanation of the reaction, direct the cyclopropanation reaction, right? So this is how we can predict what will be the product. So this is called the strong, so that is why it is called strong directing effect is observed. Now what is meant by strong directing effect? As I told you that oxygen has a lone pair. So now this oxygen, if the stereochemistry of oxygen or OAC or OMe, if you have any kind of group in the substrate, then the stereochemistry of this OH, OAC, OMe or Br will finally produce your final major product. Now if you see, if you have a compound like this, that is OH is in the above the plane, then the cyclopropanation with this, then the cyclopropanation will takes place from the above the place, like this way. So that is what it is, the stereospecificity and the strong directing effect. That is what it is called, the directing effect of the cyclopropanation reaction, that is Siemens-Smith cyclopropanation reaction. Now if you see some example, then your idea will be very much clear from this concept. That is, if you have this kind of group, as you can see here, this oxygen is in above the plane and this oxygen is in below the plane, and you have these two alkene over here. Now when you are using Et2Zn, so you can see that is the Et2Zn we can also use in the place of zinc copper couple. Now how this reaction takes place, I will show you in short, that when it is reacted with this Et2Zn plus CH2I2, so it will first removed an ethyl iodide, 1 mole of ethyl, sorry, this is ethyl iodide. So the 1 mole of ethyl iodide with ethyl iodide will leave from the system, and 1 ethyl and ZnCH2I. So this is your major carbenoid, and this is your the reagent that will finally react with this molecule, and it will give the final product. Now when we are using this kind of thing, this is your main Siemens-Smith reagent, it will react with this alkene or this alkene, but you can see the product, that is when you have this oxygen in above the plane, this alkene will fall from the cyclopropanation of this alkene takes place in the above the plane. Similarly from this case also, this oxygen is in below the plane, so that is why this CH2 cyclopropanation reaction is takes place from the below the plane. So this is all about the directing effect of this reaction. Now how the directing effect takes place, I will show you later, that how the mechanism of this directing effect, that is this one. When you have an allylic alcohol, and this cyclic allylic alcohol, if you see carefully, that is the oxygen is in the above the plane, and this after using this reagent, you are getting this product 99% diastereomer like this. That is if this OH is in above the plane, and this cyclopropanation takes place in below the plane. Now one more thing I should tell you that that is this one, that is if you have the OH or OR C double bond O, the directing effect is decreasing in this way. So that is the directing effect of OH is very much higher, and the R may be your CH3 or CH3 or any kind of ET or any kind of alkyl group. So if you have any no substitution in the hydrogen place, so that is why this OH is in the higher directing effect. Subsequently, the OR is lower compared to OH, and C double bond has O as lower from compared to this OH and OR as well, right? So this is the directing effect order. Now see the mechanism how the direction of this reaction takes place. Now this kind of substrate, this kind of cyclohexanol, we can write in this way. So this OH is in above the plane. So when we are using this one, so it will form this ICH2Zn. So this is a carbenoid one. So this is the Simmons-Smith reagent. Now it will reacted with this double bond. Now when it reacted with the double bond, this oxygen can chelate with this zinc center. So that is why this directing effect has been takes place. This oxygen is coordinated with zinc center. So that is why if this OH is in the above the plane, this cyclopropanation takes place in above the plane. If it is in below the plane, then the cyclopropanation takes place in the below the plane. So that is why this after this chelation with the zinc, you are getting that this green OH and the green CH2 cyclopropane ring are in the same side. So that is what it is the overall directing effect of the cyclopropanation reaction, that is Simmons-Smith cyclopropanation. Similarly, if you have this NBN2 and you have the same condition, that is Simmons-Smith reagent, the similar things is happen. That is, if you have this nitrogen has a lone pair of electron, similarly you can write in this way, that is a double bond. So this is your NBN2. Now it will coordinate it with this Zni. Now this will coordinate with this one, and this is what it is. So this is what the intermediate, and after that you are getting this final product, that is cyclopropanation takes place in above the plane. Now let's see another example of this reaction is that this one. Now if you have similarly, if you have an allylic alcohol like this OH is in above the plane. So similarly this cyclopropanation reaction takes place in above the plane. So that is what the overall reaction. Now one more thing, that is the solvent. So what kind of solvent you should use? That solvent is basically non-coordinating solvent, that is non-coordinating one. Non-coordinating means basically the dimethyl ether, that is your DCM, this kind of dimethyl ether, as you can see over here. So this kind of non-coordinating solvent you should use for this reaction, right? Now the next thing is that when this is all about the examples. Now the next thing is that the previous year question. Now the previous year question, that is, as you can see here, that is a CSIR net December 2016. The question says that if you have given this kind of substrate and the Simmons-Smith reagent, what will be the product? You have the 4 options. You have to predict which one is the correct answer. Now I think you may know from this above talk that that the CH2I2 and zinc copper couple form the this carbenoid, that is which one is electrophilic in nature. So this is your electrophilic. So when it is electrophilic, so this the alkene that you have given, there is a 2 different kind of alkene. Now where the cyclopropanation will takes place. So that is the major concept. Now you can easily remove that option, that is option C and option B, as you can easily eliminate this option, as you know the reagent. So that is why you have the option A or option D. So you have to predict which one will be the final correct answer. So for this you should know that this reagent is electrophilic in nature. So if this reagent is electrophilic in nature, then the double bond should in nucleophilic nature. So from this free double bond, and this is your conjugated double bond. So for this double bond has very much nucleophilic comparative to this double bond. So that is why the cyclopropanation takes place in this position. So from this you can easily eliminate the answer, that is option A also not your correct answer. So that is option D is your correct option, and you can easily get the 4 marks from this from this topic. So that is what it is very much important for the Simmons-Smith cyclopropanation reaction, right? So I have covered all those topics related to this name reaction, that is Simmons-Smith reaction, and I hope this video is very much helpful for you, and keep sharing my videos with your friend circle. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to get the earlier notification from my channel when I upload videos. Right, so that's it for this video. And if you have any doubt regarding to this cyclopropane reaction, feel free to ask me in comment section. I will try to answer definitely all those questions. Right, so that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching.